We have Matt Hoey on your right with Esper Stoneblade, a deck we've seen quite a bit of already. And on your left, Tim Ealey with Jund, a deck that I don't think we've seen yet.
He's one of the few players in the room. Cedric and I were actually just discussing that Jund is, a deck that's sort of cooled off since becoming the new hotness shortly around the Atlanta Legacy Open. So
I feel like that sort of happens in cycles in Legacy, where it's like a new non-brainstorm deck comes out and it's pretty good for a while, but then eventually it's just like, oh wait, it's just not as good as brainstorm decks because it doesn't have brainstorm.
I'm sure you're not biased in the least.
No, not at all. But it happens when you see stuff like that happening. It's almost always like creature decks without brainstorm.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Looks like they're pausing, I think, for our benefit. I kind of assume we're on Matt's turn. Probably, I don't know. No, maybe not.
Well, let's look at the lists while we wait. Esper Stoneblade, the list looks pretty standard, pretty stock, not too much fanciness going on. We are indeed post-board, so in the sideboard there is also not that much fancy. Very stock list from Matt Hoey. Yeah, just playing straight up. My cards are very good, and I'm going to beat you with them.
Yeah, he knows what he likes with Esper Stoneblade. It's basically the only deck he plays in Legacy. He plays it all the time. So I imagine he doesn't change much until he sees a reason to do so.
Yes.
Looks like might be in the middle of explanation of some kind. What's going on?
This is either a weird judge call or a very interesting story.
Yeah. I think it might also be a, can we just play? He's going to kill me.
He had the Dark Confidant active since turn 2. Can we just end this?
Yeah. It's not cool, man. It's making me wait to die. That is a regrettable side effect of cameras. The old 1 sec. Yeah. And then the match is like, a turn.
Yes.
Someone just gets executed, slow roll.
Something that happened at a GP recently to me was, looks like we're underway. Never mind. Dark Confidant attacking, Matt Hoey fetching, things are happening, cards are being played.
Dryad Arbor, get him.
I have ambushed Dark Confidants with Dryad Arbors.
That's well within your range.
Oh yeah, it is awesome.
Fetching up a basic, keeping himself from getting wastelanded. Looks like he's going to Snapcaster Mage for the Ambush Viper here. Yep. Look at me.
Unlikely to work against the all-removal Jund deck.
Good effort. Good job. Good effort.
Yeah. Well, I mean, any opportunity, no matter how unlikely to occur, to kill a Dark Confidant, you have to try. Leaving Bob Maher in play, letting it just gain a ton of value, clock you down, it's a dangerous proposition.
Yeah, in this matchup, it's especially bad for you.
Yes.
Stoneforge Mystic was his draw this turn. It's a nicey. That's a card that might actually be able to undo the advantage. It's going to obviously need some time to let it do its work with Batterskull, but a significant threat against Jund in multiple formats.
That is true. The Stoneforge Mystic is going to have to survive this turn, which Tim Ealey has a couple cards in hand, and it's about to have a couple more.
Pyroblast. Pyroblast is a card I actually generally dislike boarding in against Esper Stoneblade.
I agree, especially when it messes with Cascade.
Yeah.
But we do see some sort of fancy spell.
I have actually just no idea what that is. It looks like it has flashback. Punishing Fire. That's a Punishing Fire from Knights versus Dragons, I believe.
I believe you. I choose to believe you, Glenn Jones.
I assume that is the set because I think that it's from that now. But
How is Punishing Fire fair against Knights? They're all 2/2s.
Maybe the Knights use it. I don't know.
I was gonna say maybe they don't. Maybe the Knights use it. I was gonna say maybe they didn't give Dragons the Grove of the Burn Willows.
Maybe not. Well, that will eliminate the Stoneforge Mystic, and Matt's gonna have to play Batterskull fair and square.
It's a couple turns off, and
ooh la la.
under
plowshares.
Quite a bit of pressure. A plow for the Dark Confidant. Better late than never, but this is a Supreme Verdict, going to take out the Deathrite Shaman as well.
I like this play.
Yes.
I Wrath of God against made it.
Wrath of God against two creatures that are both quite good against you. And now he has the plow for the follow-up play. It's actually turned around quite a bit.
Yeah, this reverses things a great deal. Tim has I know, a Life from the Loam in his hand. Not sure what other action he might have. He has a Pyroblast and a Surgical Extraction, I believe, are his 3 cards.
So actually not that great.
Any action at all. Yeah, his hand is
no threats. Oh, no threats or interactive cards. It's just like maybe some of these cards are going to be good at some point.
Yeah, that's the biggest knock against Pyroblast, I think, against Esper Stoneblade. It can counter several of their spells, but all of their best ones aren't blue.
Yeah, all the best ones against you are not blue, or are uncounterable, as we just saw from the Supreme Verdict.
It's a good verdict.
Yes.
One of the best verdicts.
Is it an ultimate verdict?
No.
Oh, my mistake.
Those are different.
Okay, and the follow-up Batterskull.
Easy
did
game,
draw
boys.
the lands.
We're going to declare our trigger.
Triggers the Germ. Wow, this game has turned around.
Yeah, in short order.
Well, I mean, Dark Confidant drawing a bunch of cards is usually good, but they have to have an impact. And Tim Ealey, with a bunch of low to no impact cards, gonna have to draw pretty well from here. He's actually on the back foot, just like that.
If he hits, maybe a Grove, he might be able to get rid of the Batterskull in time to sort of establish control. Punishing Fire very good against the control decks in general, but Matt's actually rolling on a Geist of St. Traft in the back. So he'll have even more action.
Yes.
Should that actually occur.
Well, Pyroblast is going to have to now Spellbomb, cycles, does a little something. I was going to say, Pyroblast only hits the Geist in one mode, so he's got to leave that up.
With all his lands, I imagine it's not going to be too difficult to leave up in the one. The problem being that Grove Punishing Fire takes up so much mana.
Yes.
He can't, profitably do both most of the time. Nihil Spellbomb isn't. It feels like he's diluted his deck significantly against some of the smaller angles from Matt's deck.
Exactly. Bunch of fairly low impact cards. There we go. There's a Tarmogoyf, a Tramogoyf. That is, it's got a big target on its head for that Swords to Plowshares that we know about in Matt Hoey's hand, but Tim Ealey's got to be pretty happy with that draw. It's a something that does something.
It's a 5/6.
It's quite a large Tarmogoyf.
It's reasonable.
It's bigger than a Germ wearing a Batterskull, I'll tell you that much.
And Matt's like, hey, you done? I'm going to kill that guy.
Can I kill him yet? No? All right.
Sure.
Can I kill him now? Please?
Untap. All right, I'm going to kill him. I said I would. Brainstorm!
Oh, yes.
Now the question is, do you bait the Pyroblast with the Brainstorm and play the Geist?
Yes, and
oh, he gets it.
I was about to say, Tim Ealey is not going to do that. So
that's interesting.
What's the plan here? He gets his Goyf plowed, takes 4, gets back his Punishing Fire.
He doesn't have a Grove yet, does he?
Oh
no, he gets it with the swords.
No, batter.
For your opponent. Yeah,
your opponent has to gain life. Batterskull has life.
I probably would not have noticed that.
Yes, it's
quite
an interesting interaction. Punishing Fire does not just get back with Grove of the Burn Willow. It gets back anytime your opponent gains a life and you pay a red. So he does get it back from the lifelink on the Batterskull. So next turn, if the Batterskull Germ attacks, it would be Punishing Fire it, damage resolves. He has to take 4 more, but then he gets the Punishing Fire back. The Germ has 2 damage on it. You can Punishing Fire it again, finish it off. He's got the Pyroblast for the Geist. I'm not sure what Matt Hoey hit with that Brainstorm.
He hit a Jace.
A Jace.
So I think he's thinking, I'm going to go ahead and throw this Geist into that Pyroblast, and then I'll be able to untap and Jace.
Yep.
Tim appears to have let the Geist resolve. Wow. He has plans for those Pyroblasts. He apparently brought him in for something that's not Geist.
No kidding.
I assume Jace is that concern.
Yes. That's got to be the most threatening blue card almost of all time.
Yeah.
So it's understandable that that's the card that he fears the most here. The plow from the 5 life from the plow on the Tarmogoyf gives him a little more of a cushion. He did draw Dark Confidant, which is, not too bad of an answer. It can either draw some cards or block the Geist.
Now, Matt can't just shift the Batterskull over to Geist and take care of the Punishing Fire quote problem unquote.
Yes, that is the biggest concern of allowing the Geist of St. Traft to resolve. Not the Geist itself. You have creatures. You have the Punishing Fire for the Germ, but the two together. People think of Batterskull as a 4/4 lifelinker for 5, which it often is, but there's actually an equipment side to that.
Yep.
And it bounces itself. That card just does everything.
Tim is going to make the Punishing Fire play we described before, it looks like, which I think I like Matt's Engineered Explosives use here. I think it's a little aggressive, maybe. You know, if his opponent draws a Tarmogoyf, he might be a little regretful.
The card that I think would be awesome here is Liliana.
Also very painful, yeah.
Take out the Geist after killing the Germ and stay around.
I think that the problem is here, Liliana's like good in every situation, right? Like,
yeah.
There's no eventuality where Liliana wouldn't be sweet here, so...
Well, you could have just simply not attacked with the Germ this turn.
That's fair, actually, yeah. You could have just popped the Confidant off, put your opponent to 10, represented lethal next turn.
Yes.
Okay.
Ooh! He didn't you know what it is? He doesn't have another red source to fetch out.
Oh, he had
That's
all of
the
his
only thing I
red
can
duels
think of.
in
We
his,
have the deck list. We can
play?
check.
Wow, that's really awkward. 3 Badlands and 4 Grove, and yeah, he just had 3 Badlands.
And he had the 3 Badlands in play.
Wow.
I thought that was an option for a second,